We've woken up, fresh from our sleep. I think we might be good to go once more. I do want to repair some clothing. But I think we'll do that once we move to the mines. Since we've got to go to another set of mines yet. I'm going to take these hats and socks so I can tear these up real quick. That way we've got a bit extra cloth for repairs later. Man, that takes a long time to harvest. Some bloody socks. Well, let's get moving. We're gonna go up to Pleasant Valley. Okay, Mr. Moose. I don't want any trouble. I'm just crossing by. Just, ignore me. We can be friends. I don't want to hurt you, and you don't want to hurt me. No, if we did kill the moose, we would get some very useful crafting stuff. But I believe a rifle shot doesn't bring down a moose on this game. I think you have to shoot it a couple of times. I'm not sure if I'm confident in my abilities to kill it before it kills us. But yeah, it's cool. I've never seen a moose before. They actually walk around pretty fast. I wonder if the wolves get scared of the moose. That's something interesting to think about. Well, back up this slope we go. I've got to try and memorize my way to Pleasant Valley. You know it's up here somewhere. I also don't remember if we ever checked this place. I think we probably did. I'll probably recognize when I get up here. Yep, I've already been through this building. Okay, just wanted to double check. Because there's quite a few trailers like this, so it just threw me off a little bit. Anyway, let's head up to Pleasant Valley. We should be able to find it. There is another... I thought it said a wolf. Anyway, there is like another area where there's a mine at the top of this mountain, and it will take us through to Pleasant Valley. Hopefully we'll be able to get there unharmed. Now we could take the long way, which would go past that tower we went to a few episodes back, which is up that way. But there is a quicker way if you keep following this direction, rather than going up there. There is also a chance we can run into a bear up that way, so I don't really know if I want to go up that side. But the bear does wander around, so maybe we'll end up running into the bear anyway.
Something to eat.
If I could see it up there for a second. Now, if we run into a bear, it's not likely that it will stop if we shoot it, unless we get a critical hit on it. we can shoot it in the head. Here's something in that direction. Could be the moose. Because a moose has scraped their, like, antlers across bark or something. Nope, that's the sound of a bear. I can hear the crows. We're going to keep moving this way, rather than deal with that. I think the bear is on the path below this one. So that's an important thing to note when you're trying to avoid a bear. You can hear crows. They make a distinct, different sound from the crows you hear circling around bodies. And you'll be able to notice that straight away. When you hear that, that means you're getting close to a bear. And it's kind of like your little early warning against a bear if you can't see one. That's always something to listen out for. If it's loud enough and recording, I'll try and turn it up so you can hear the crow sound. But if not, you'll be able to tell the difference, honestly, from the regular crow sound that you hear on the game. There's not a whole lot along this path. But as you can see, while climbing up, there is that logging camp down there, or whatever it is, that we could potentially go to in the future. But wolves love to hang around that area. I believe there is a couple of buildings on either side of this, of Coastal Highway as well, that we've not been to yet. Just before you go up to Mystic Lake. I don't know if we'll be going to those, though. We'll see. There is a trailer here we can use. Could be worth looting. Now, along this path, there can be a wolf, from what I remember. I remember running into a wolf 1 or 2 times while coming from Pleasant Valley down into Coastal Highway. So, I think we can find him around this area. Just gotta be wary. But this is like a useful spot to, like, sleep and warm up when you've been walking from Pleasant Valley.
I think I can use this.
I'm gonna take everything from this building. My voice sort of cracked then when I said that. But we will take everything we can from this building. Because stuff like food will probably get used by us, honestly, while we're traveling. There's no need to hold on to it at this point. Unless we find something like a salmon, for example. Or a trout. I do try to hold on to the big value items for food. But small stuff like jerky is good to give us like the calories we need to get sleep, for example. Now I am playing this a lot like I do with Interloper, where I am starving my guy. But when you're starving, you lose very little condition anyway. It's something like 1% of condition every, like, in-game hour. It takes forever to die from starvation. The important things to look out for are your tiredness, like your fatigue. You want to make sure you're well rested when you can be. And the cold. The cold is the #1 killer, really, on this game. And here's the mine. So, if you're trying to keep supplies high, you can starve yourself throughout the day, unless you get real low on condition, and you should probably at least eat something to stop yourself from taking damage. Is there anything out here that's useful to us to pick up? Nope. Let's go inside. Handy flare. Some crates here for us to bash up if we want to. We don't need any more lantern fuel, but I may take a lantern fuel to top off our lantern.
Hope nobody needs this anymore.
Coffee. Ooh, a fire striker. That's useful. Though it's not so useful when you've got like 500 matches. That is a really cool find. That is a rare find as well. Do we really need more coffee?
I could use this.
I might leave the coffee here. Because we've already just taken a can of it. A down vest.
Excellent.
So let me take that lantern real quick and we'll refill it. Because it does need refilling. Cool. Now I've got a rifle cleaning kit with us, just in case we need to use that in our rifle, which we probably won't have to. It's in good enough condition right now. As for everything else, I think we're good at the moment. I would like to tear up these boots at some point to keep on repairing our other clothing. Same with these gloves. And some of the other piece of clothing I picked up. And I'd like to repair some more stuff. I don't know when we'll do that though. Let's light a flare and go down the mine shaft. I feel like I saw a second path down here. No, okay. Here's my imagination. Again, in mines you won't come across any wild animals, so you don't have to worry about that. You just need to make sure you got like a little bit of light to help you through. If you're not familiar with the mines, which I'm not always familiar with them personally. I'll take a piece of coal or two, because that could be useful for us once we get down to Pleasant Valley, if we need to cook up anything. So this was the other direction, I think. Yeah, that's where we split off, I'm pretty sure. Let's got another pit stop here. Where we could find some more loot. I'll take a bandage and an emergency stim. We've got quite a few emergency stims actually. We might even need those at this point. I'm going to take the antiseptic because we do get attacked by wolves quite often. Another bandage. That saves us having to craft new bandages for now. We could break these crates up, but I don't feel we need to. It's important to note those, though, if we need to get additional reclaimed wood later on. Which we shouldn't need to. There's plenty of stuff to break down in the Quonset garage and also in the surrounding buildings for reclaimed wood. So we may be fine for that. I think we need to go down the other path first. Yep. Found ourselves a corpse and another storm lantern. Some charcoal on the sky. I'll do a bit more of the mapping when we get into Pleasant Valley as well, to show it off a little bit more. Because it is a really cool feature, and I like how they've done it. instead of just making it so your map just it fills in as you walk by. It's cool visually. Makes sense in a survival situation too. Some more goodies here.
Just out of this stuff.
There is some hardwood here. In that box. I'm going to leave that there actually. We'll pick that up on the way back through. Same with all these things here. We don't really need to pick up the simple tools and rifle cleaning kit and stuff. Is that cloth though? Some more scrap metal. I don't think we need any more scrap metal currently. But I will be sure to pick all that up on the way back through. Because that'll be useful to us. Now, keep in mind, I believe that the mine changes on playthrough to playthrough. You'll find, like, sometimes the ways that you know are blocked off, I believe. I want to say that's true. I'm not 100% on that, though, thinking about it. But I think the mines do have a chance to be different, slightly. Not like they are right now. Like, you know, you're always going to get a room like this in here, and they're not like to randomize or anything like that. It's just sometimes the pathways are blocked off like this. There's a torch there. Nice. And you can't always get through the way you're going. So it's useful to sometimes go down the other ways and see if there's any like frozen corpses or like wood or additional things that you could find down them. Now I'm about to lose this flare light. And I can't see anymore. Light another flare. Well, it's because we did stop walking, so we don't fall in there. There is some stuff there. I think there's some rifle ammo there. Now, if I have got anything that I don't really need at the moment, I might drop it off before we leave the mine over on this side. Otherwise, we'll carry on with everything we've picked up so far. I was right.
This will come in handy.
Rifle ammo.
Just what I need.
And we've got even more stuff. I think the coffee does give me some calories, so I could just cook it all off and use that to keep my fatigue up and my calories up. And here's the end of the mine anyway. I probably didn't need to light another flare, honestly. But that doesn't matter now. I don't actually know if there's anywhere to store stuff on this side of the mine, unfortunately. No. Not until you get deeper through anyway. There's some coal there. Well, let's go on through. We'll stop off at the first building we find and call it an episode. No, depending on time, I might split this up into 2 episodes, so we'll see. Welcome to Pleasant Valley. Now this area can be kind of rough with wolves, just outside this mine entrance. Wolves and bears like to hang around below. Yeah, we can see one right now, actually. I'll try to avoid them, but there is a lot of them in this spot, like in this immediate area. Probably could throw him a flare or something. Not carrying it around, so I don't attract more attention. Now Pleasant Valley is pretty useful because there is a couple of very nice locations to go to. There's the farmhouse, which is a really nice place. You can use it as a rest place as well. There's also like a small town that has like a shop. What else is there? Yeah, it's that way, that town, but I don't know if we can really go that way. I don't really want to be running into all the wolves along the way. There is a radio station, which has some pretty nice stuff, but it's harder to get to. It takes some time to get to. I believe you have to climb up mountain ropes for the, like, part of it, otherwise it takes a very long time to walk up there. There's a couple of other buildings here and there as well in the area. It's a very nice location. It's a hard location to survive in because there's like so much wildlife and hilly terrain, but there is a lot of nice buildings and locations to find some nice gear. There's a fishing hut or two as well, so you can go fishing. Which, for if we need to, for some more calories, I may actually do the fishing. Over there is a burnt out building. I think that's where that town was talking about. When I say town, it's like 4 buildings, but still. That's another one of those locations that can have more buildings or less buildings from playthrough to playthrough. Now I'll be able to orient myself a little bit better in Pleasant Valley once we get to some of the other areas that I know better. Coming from Coastal Highway, I'm not really that used to it because most of my interloper attempts I start in Pleasant Valley or I start in Timberwolf Mountain, which takes me into Pleasant Valley. So most of my knowledge of this area comes from traveling from that end of this area, you know, this territory. Wind and snow's picking up a little bit. I think we'll be fine. There's some rabbits around the area, but I don't know if we really need to be getting rabbits. Rabbits are not really worth the trouble unless you really, really need food. So if we follow these lines, that'll take us down to the little village. That's a useful tool to help you find your location. And I can't remember what's that way. There's a wolf that way. I'm trying to think what's up that way. I can't think for the life of me what's up that way. I think if you keep following that road though, it does circle round to where you get to the climbing point to Timberwolf Mountain, which we won't be going on. Now the problem with going to this area, there's going to be a lot of good loot for us to try and transport, and one of the other problems will be is if we do want to go to Timberwolf Mountain, we're going to have to drop off so much stuff to get back here, you know. Oh! Cattails. Now this is a very nice thing to be finding if you are new to the game. And also if you're playing Interloper, because these things are like invaluable. because they can give you just enough calories to do the things you need to. And they don't weigh a lot. And you carry loads of them. Because you get like 2 servings of them each time you pick one. And then you get like a little bit of tinder as well from the cattail head. They're very useful to find. You always find them along the rivers, as you probably wouldn't know anyway. And you can just pick them up and you can eat them. It's great. They're great for some fast calories or like some if you just need to like get some sleep. And I believe they do grow back after a few days, so they are like a resource that you could keep picking if you know where they are. But in Pleasant Valley you can find loads of them. Mystic Lake, there's quite a few as well. You can go around just picking them all up. And I'm going to pick up a load right now because getting cattails is going to be better for us than having to use up all the valuable food that we could be taking back to Coastal Highway. So we may have a couple episodes actually, guys, where we are just going from Pleasant Valley to Coastal Highway, just because there will be so much loot here compared to Desolation Point. There's a waterfall over there. So yeah, that bridge up there is a shop. Or some houses that can spawn here anyway. You have to be careful because there can be wolves in this area as well. But we'll take the risk. If we need to, we just pull out the gun and fire at them. But Pleasant Valley is fairly easy to navigate. Once you find the roads, there's a lot of easy to find places along the roads. The problem is, along the roads you can find wolves and bears and stuff. So we do have one building here. There's a car, and it looks like we've got 2 houses to search. We've got a couple of wrecked ones. So if we go down that way, there is a couple more buildings along that road. And off to the right, in the centre of Pleasant Valley, there is the farmstead as well as a big barn area, which is really good. But we've made it to the Crossroads house. And I think this is where we'll be stopping for this episode. We will loot this up next time, I think, so we can find out what's in here together. But for right now, I think we're done here. So, everyone, thank you for watching this episode, or these episodes of Long Dark. Hope you enjoyed them. And actually, if there's anything you want me to talk about the game in future episodes, say if there's anything you want to know, let me know in the comments and I'll try and talk about those when we are just wandering around between areas, or like when we're exploring. But anyway, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.